Hello, the Lensbaby Spark is a tiny little funny lens and I'm going to tell you whether you should buy it or not. So I'd heard about Lensbaby lenses for quite a while. I like tilt shift stuff, so where you can control where the focal point is in the image, and Lensbaby seem to offer these really cheap little lenses. The Lensbaby Spark is the one that I have. I found it in a shop in the middle of Bristol and it cost me about £20 I think, which was good, and as I've been wanting one for a while I couldn't say no. It's a very strange lens. It doesn't have a normal focal thing. Instead of focusing by turning the lens, what you do is you hold the lens up and you basically pull it to focus. And once you've pulled it into focus, you can then move and tilt the lens to choose where in the image you want the focal point to be. The type of blur you get with this lens isn't just a generic blur like you would get if something was out of focus in a photo. You almost get, it pulls your eye into it, so it almost looks like a motion blur or a swirl or something like that. So you get a really nice effect. It's a very strange way of focusing, but once you've played with the lens for an hour or two, you totally become natural at being able to move that focal point around. And that's when you can start to have fun with it. If you can pick one up for £20 or £30 perhaps, the Lensbaby Spark is a really good entry into this type of lens. The central optical bit can actually be replaced and you can put in different optics in there which the Lensbaby sells themselves, as well as a tool to let you take this out. I've got the one that came with the Spark, which is a 50mm, so it's quite zoomed in for what I would like. I would like something a little bit wider, I think, so that you could do perhaps street photography or portraits in a wider environment. You can also shoot video with it as well. I've never actually done anything professionally with it, but I have had a play with my A7 III, and you know, if you have a look at this footage, you can see that optically it's not the best. It's not you know, what you would give to your clients, for example, if you're doing work or something like that. But perhaps for things like weddings, it might be cool to stick on, you know, if you have it in your bag and just pop it on the camera just to get a few arty behind the scenes bits for a wedding. Or perhaps if you're just doing some experimental stuff, or even like a dream sequence in a short film or something like that. This is really good, and it gives you an effect that's quite tricky to achieve in post-production. You can get this effect in post-production, but I always find it's a lot nicer to do it in camera, because then you've got that control when you're there, specifically how you want it to look, and you can get it right. So although I haven't shot anything with it professionally, I have had a play with it video-wise, and I think if you're a person who shoots video as opposed to stills, you should still check this out because it's quite fun. Technical-wise, there's nothing else to it. It's plastic, it's cheap. I think the middle bit's made of rubber. You can drop it, you can throw it around and nothing's going to happen to it, which is good. You can chuck it in your backpack, and if you go out and doing some proper photography or something like that, it's always one that you can just pull out, stick it on, and you know, get some really cool shots. So if you're wondering if this lens is for you, I would recommend it to anybody that wants to have a play. Professional wise, I think if you were perhaps a behind the scenes photographer on film or TV or something like that, or theatre, and you wanted to get some shots where you've got quite a lot of things going on and you want to convey that busyness, that buzz, but at the same time pick out one or two key people perhaps, this lens is going to be one that you really should have in your backpack. I think it's a good introduction to Lensbaby, so if you've been interested in a tilt shift lens at all, you know, for the price, you might as well pick one of these up. I can definitely recommend it for that. So that's it, that's my review. I like to keep them short and to the point. Hopefully it's influenced you whether you like this lens or whether you don't like this lens, and keep an eye out for the next one. Thanks.